Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is late February 10th, 2016. The headlines coming out this evening are that the FBI is surrounding the protesters in Oregon, the protest at the federal wildlife refuge that began January 2nd, 2016. When this event began, I explained that it was a controlled opposition event being put on by the federal government as a media stunt to send a message to the people. That message is resistance against your government is futile, it will lead to nothing positive, likely jail, possibly even death. The government has put on similar stunts in the past. It is controlled opposition to send a message and to control that message completely. When this event began, I explained that it was synced up with the football game happening, the college bowl game, the Alamo Bowl, where Oregon was playing Texas Christian University. And think about the Alamo in history, a standoff. And at the same time that Oregon's participating in the Alamo Bowl, a standoff begins in Burns, Oregon, which is in the middle of nowhere. This entire thing is staged, a controlled event for government propaganda, military strategic purpose. And if you think what I'm saying sound crazy, keep in mind that if you're new here, I explained before the Super Bowl that the Broncos would win, Von Miller would be the MVP, and there would be a major Black Panther tribute. How do I know this? Because I have learned to decode what the powers that be are doing. The people who control our media, they rig it. The news stories, the sports games, it's all intertwined. I didn't realize that the halftime show was going to be such a major Black Panther tribute. You know, now there's even an anti-Beyonce protest planned in New York over her Black Panther tribute. In case you missed my NFL work, Huey P. Newton created the Black Panther Party in the year 66, the year of the first Super Bowl. He created it in Oakland, not far from where this year's Super Bowl was hosted. Notice that Oakland equals 58, Huey P. Newton equals 58, Freemasonry equals 58. It is the Freemasons who do this. The Black Panther Party were controlled opposition. Government using youth for an agenda to create what they did with the Black Panther Party. You know, they built it up only to destroy it and to tarnish the name and refer to it as black terrorism, etc. They're doing the same thing in Burns, Oregon right now with this phony wildlife refuge standoff that has sucked in legitimate people who've been duped. Anyhow, Cam Newton is related to Huey P. Newton by blood, the quarterback of the Panthers, and he became the 58th QB to start in a Super Bowl this year. No coincidence. Everything these people do is synced up by the numbers. The reason the FBI is surrounding Burns, Oregon, these protesters tonight, is because this entire thing was by the numbers. Look at the Alamo Bowl score. 41-47. 47 is a Freemason signature, but 41 is the number we're looking at here. Today, February 10th, the day of this announcement, is the 41st day of the year. Tomorrow, which is about to start, will be 41 days since this standoff began. And if it makes it a day past that, it'll be 42 days, which also stands out because Waco equals 42. This has a whole lot of connections to Waco, as well as Oklahoma City. Remember, Timothy McVeigh supposedly bombed the Oklahoma City federal building as a response to Waco. This is a federal building standoff, a lot like Waco. All these old narratives intertwined into this government sequel. Oklahoma City, Waco, that was the government as well. People need to wake up. Anyhow, these numbers are special. 41 is the 13th prime. USA equals 41. It began with 13 colonies. Waco equals 42 like Freemason. As for 41, Ammon Bundy, the face of this up until his arrest, and even now still is the face of it, Name gematria 41, just like the word ranchers, and this is about ranchers supposedly. You know, finally America's going to stand up for something over a little brush fire and a couple farmers getting sent off to jail. I mean, the whole story is a joke. The whole story is a joke. And who else is a joke are all the shill channels out here trying to defend this bullshit, like Professor Doom, who's made 2 videos trying to call me out without paying any attention to the main points I've been making. He's created shill arguments, straw men to try to dismiss me. Professor Doom, Major Shill, wake up, people. Okay, moving on. If you missed my original post covering the Alamo Bowl and how this started, I want you to check this out. All night, ESPN kept up this graphic during the Alamo Bowl. Number 22, number 3. A lot like Masonic, 223. Masonic in simple English gematria sums to 74, just like Oregon, just like Burns. And of the 50 states, only the 33rd state, Oregon, sums to 74. The pairing of 33 and 74 is part of a Masonic coding tradition. Only the 33rd state, Oregon, sums to 74. These are numbers of Freemasonry. And 223 also connects to the Alamo, which in history began February 23rd, 2/23, ended March 6th, 1836. Alamo has gematria 42, just like Waco. Tomorrow, February 11th, is the 42nd day of the year, 41 days after the standoff began. You see how they could get all these numbers coded in by doing it tomorrow? Robert Burns is the poet who made English a popular language at the time, poet, and he is he is buried under a Masonic temple. Robert Burns, what Burns, Oregon's named after. As for the wildlife refuge, it has gematria of 144, just like Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, the building that blew up in Oklahoma City. Another special number, a number that has a lot to do with death. So far, there's only been 1 death related to this story, Lavoy Finicum. I have videos on that. That was propaganda, made up, contrived, a phony actor playing a part. Said to be a Mormon, Mormons, Freemasons. So if you haven't seen my prior videos on this standoff, please check them out. Other important information. But this is what's been going on. All by the numbers, all this time. Definitely connected to the Alamo Bowl, as the Super Bowl has been connected to the mainstream media's theming of the race war that they've been building with their purposeful propaganda. With regards to the FBI who's surrounding the wildlife refuge today, check this out. Established in history on July 26, 1908. A date with 33 numerology. Also a date with 60 numerology. The word police equals 33 the small way, 60 the big way. This was the federal police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Notice also established on a date with 41 numerology, number connecting to this nation, number important to this standoff. The coding is undeniable. Professor Doom has done 2 videos saying I'm a loon for saying that this coding is, ridiculous, absurd, a mockery. I don't know how anyone could say that about my work honestly in light of all that I've proven, especially now with how I've shown how the Super Bowl has been synced up with the ongoing media stories, something I predicted months before it happened. In November, I said the Super Bowl would be white Broncos and black Panthers. We get an O.J. Simpson show coming out at the same time and the white Bronco. People can't put 2 and 2 together. Just laughing at us, these Masons up top. Notice the FBI changed its name from Bureau of Investigation to Federal Bureau of Investigation on March 22nd, 1935. Police, federal, 33 words. Washington, D.C. equals 137, which is the 33rd prime number. Authority equals 137, again, the 33rd prime number. Our whole language is based on this system of gematria. In case you missed my work on Lavoy Finicum, his name in gematria summed to 93, the same as propaganda. In the video where he shot, it's right at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. No coincidence. These Masons are very specific with their numbers. It's all part of their propaganda rituals. Check out this headline of Ammon Bundy, a ridiculous name, a name that reminds us of ammo, and this has to do with guns. And on the media, they've been calling these people domestic terrorists, saying this is why we need to have gun control, to avoid this, people taking a stand. In the middle of Oregon over almost nothing, where nobody is. I mean, it's just such a joke. Who's fallen for this? Anyway, look at what the headline is in Gematria. 322 and also 133. 322, the Masonic number of skull and bones. FBI established on 322, March 22nd. Also written 22/3, like Masonic. The number of the Masonic order, skull and bones. The people who control our government, control our media, code it out every day. With regards to 133, government equals 133. And in the very first article I did, I showed how the first article out was posted at 1033 by AP. 1033, 0 doesn't count in numerology, a lot like 133. None of this coding is by coincidence. This is what these people do. This is what I figured out. This is why I teach it. And if you take the time to listen and learn and realize that what I'm showing is correct, you can use these skills in a lot of ways. For example, a lot of people made money on this Super Bowl taking my bet that I said back in October. I said it was gift wrap for the Broncos. People said, no way, Peyton Manning's washed up, that's impossible. I said, watch, it's all scripted. And look, he was throwing wounded ducks through the whole Super Bowl all the way to the win. We haven't seen passes that bad in a Super Bowl since Rex Grossman, the only other QB Peyton Manning's ever beaten a Super Bowl. It's a nation of sheeple, and I'm trying to turn the sheeple into people. Wake up. All you Professor Doom followers, you need to unsubscribe that channel. That's a propaganda channel. That is a controlled opposition channel. Total shill, total loser. Anybody who speaks about my work the way he does, not committed to truth. Nobody's putting out a more important message on YouTube. No one's teaching a skill that everyone can apply. If you're new here, go to YouTube, search How to Gematria. I'll link it in the description. Learn these skills. Help me with this research. Expose these madmen. Until next time.